Hello and welcome to Nutrition for Healthy Living. We're going to have a quick look at some of the aspects of having a healthy diet today. Our learning outcomes for today's quick lesson is we're going to list the macronutrients, identify the foods of each macronutrient. We'll then compare some of the values of different types of foods, and then we're going to list the benefits of having a healthy diet. So first things first, a macronutrient. What is a macronutrient? Well, there's three macronutrients. These are the main components of our diet. There are carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So carbohydrates. Carbohydrates we use quite heavily. They are our main source of energy in the body, and they come in foods such as breads, pasta, and rice. Fats are also used as a source of energy, but they're quite difficult to use as energy, so we tend to use carbohydrates first. These are second source of energy, but they're also important for fat-soluble vitamins. So while we have a myth that all fats are bad, it's not necessarily true. We need a certain amount of fat in our diet to have a healthy diet. Foods which are high in fat are chocolate, butter, and processed meats. Protein. Protein is essential for the growth and repair of muscles and other body tissues. When we exercise, when we even do vigorous work, our muscles break down and protein is used to help build them back up again. A number of foods have high protein contents, stuff like chicken, milk, and peanuts for any vegans. So, I have a question for you. 100 grams of a Burger King burger and 100 grams of brown bread. There's only 8 calories in the difference. However, the brown bread is going to fill you up for longer. So, despite only having 8 calories difference, if we look at the content of each food, the burger has 15 grams of fat and only 19 grams of carbohydrates and 17 grams of protein. Whereas the brown bread has only 4 grams of fat, a huge 48 grams of carbohydrates and 11 grams of protein. Now, we get about 9 calories per gram of fat and 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates. So we'll actually get more food from our brown bread than we would from the burger, and will keep us full for longer with pretty much the same amount of calories that we're taking in. This will help us maintain a balanced, healthy diet and hopefully keep away some of the illnesses associated with obesity. So while we're talking about all these carbohydrates, fats and proteins, the government has come up with this Eat Well plate. This is to be used as a guide for having a balanced diet. So every day we should have a nice big chunk of fruit and vegetables. We should have a nice big chunk of bread, rice, potatoes and pasta, and they should really take up the majority of our food intake for a day. Second largest intake should come from meat, fish, eggs or beans, and also milk and dairy products. And then finally, the smallest portion of our diet should come from foods which are high in fat or high in sugar, such as soft drinks, cakes, chocolates, all the nice stuff really. Finally, the benefits of a healthy diet. Well, first one is more energy. If we have a diet which is high in carbohydrates and low in fat, and we're having the correct calorie intake for a day, we will have enough energy to be able to complete all the tasks that we need to do that day. We will have stronger muscles and bones. Like I said, when we exercise, when we have vigorous jobs, our muscles break down slightly, and a balanced diet will help repair those muscles and keep our bones nice and strong. And finally, we'll be able to avoid obesity. Having a balanced diet, having the correct calorie intake and expenditure will help us maintain a good weight. and will also reduce the risk of a stroke, reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, and also reduce the risk of coronary heart disease, also known as a heart attack, later on in life. So let's quickly check our learning outcomes. We hopefully listed the macronutrients, the carbohydrates, fats and proteins. We identified foods that are associated with each macronutrient. We compared two different values of foods and looked how fats and carbohydrates can make up what a food's made up. So we're not just looking at calories, we're also looking at where those calories come from. And we listed the benefits of a healthy diet. We'll have more energy, strong bones and muscles, and we will be able to avoid obesity.